The first and the second day of the academy that were probably the hardest 2 days of the whole academy.
Too slow! Too slow! Pick it up!
You're kind of just thrown into the water and you better figure out how to swim.
Get on the right stairs! Tighten it up! Watch where you're going! Don't there! Get down! Hurry up!
You're standing at attention, you have the TOs about this close to your face yelling, putting you through that sort of stress to see if you can handle it out in the real world.
What? What? Sorry, yes, sir!
I did see guys or girls that came in that didn't know what to expect and weren't physically or mentally prepared for the situation. They felt it the first 2 days. Some of them actually ended up quitting.
3:30 definitely felt far away, but in the end, you just had to realize that this is the career that we chose, and this is just the beginning.
Fix it, Pharaoh!
And at the end of this, you're going to look back and wish it wasn't over.
Physical fitness is a very, very, very big part of our job, and we will get you there.
I may take elevators for a little while. I'm a little sick of stairs.
I like the CrossFit, but the running and other things was a little tough too.
The academy is very physical. If you have put in the work to be able to do a 2 or 3 mile run, if you've put in the work to be able to do push-ups, I think if you've done that, that's one less burden that you have on your plate.
Fire up! Fire up! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Honestly, I dreaded running.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G!
When they would say column of 2 at the gate, and everyone would be like, oh, you know, because they knew that meant running.
Go right left! Left, right, left! Left, right, left!
And then there's these TOs barking at you, and you're like, okay, I really just want to run, but I can't just run, so I'm gonna try to hide.
Love the double time!
And make sure that I don't get an R-9 for not running fast enough, for not knowing my direction. So that was tough. It made the runs extra hard. I mean, extra great.
Stand up, hook up, down,
Today's our final test, which is really a culmination of everything they've learned so far.
My favorite's always been DTAC.
Good. Nicely done.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes, that was the first time I'd ever been punched in the face.
The positions we're putting them in are ones that officers in this county have found themselves in. We've had edge weapons pulled, we've had officers beaten unconscious, broken bones, officers killed in ground encounters when their weapons have taken. So we want to prepare the officers to survive a violent encounter like this.
It's a lot going on through your mind. A lot of times I forgot about my weapon, and that's the kind of stuff you need to pay attention to. But it's hard to do when you're on the ground and getting attacked.
The first 15 or so weeks are giving you building blocks. I think these last 4 weeks have kind of showed how you need to put them together and do it in a real scenario at full speed.
It's a real eye-opener as to what to expect out there. It's made me confident in myself and my abilities to handle people out in the field once we graduate.
Don't move!
Well, of course, some of our favorite classes were, of course, firearms and DTAC. Those seem to be the most hands-on sort of classes, and those are the ones that everybody was real excited to learn.
The goal is to take someone who comes from a basic level to where they can just shoot paper targets and get them to where they're able to apply the basics in a tactical environment.
Move, partner!
The training was very, very effective.
Move, move, move!
The range staff is very good at breaking things down to the minutia level and making things really easy to understand no matter what level of training you've had.
Don't move!
You picked up your gun like it was second nature. It was pretty amazing to know that it was already there, didn't have to think about it, and I owe all that to the firearms training.
Yes, chemical agents was definitely a very memorable day.
Over here.
It was wonderful in there. I didn't have any problem seeing at all.
I believe it was very valuable.
Let me tell you something.
I would highly recommend doing it once, but never again.
Once you're exposed to chemical agents, you kind of focus on that and not the proper techniques, the DTAC techniques that we were taught, or the proper arrest and control techniques for compliant handcuffing.
When I was sprayed, I did not have any effects on me at that current time. I just did exactly what I was supposed to do, fought through it. 3 minutes afterwards is when I felt all the burning, all the pain.
You got to know what your tools are, how they affect other people. Then you're able to know when to distribute that kind of force.
You know, it's driving code 3. What could be more fun than that?
Driving a patrol vehicle is a lot different than driving a personal vehicle. It operates a little differently.
Driving is probably one of the most critical skills that they'll learn here in the academy.
Our EVOC program teaches the recruits how to drive it fast and how to drive it safely.
Doing all the testing and training that we did for skid car and running code 3 definitely prepared us for what it will be in reality.
Academy! Up New Academy!
Well, the ultimate goal of the Academy is to provide the recruits with a basic amount of training and skill sets and knowledge so that when they graduate, they're capable of going out into phase training. It takes 6 months, it takes a lot of hours, it takes over 900 hours, but I think that by the time they graduate, they're all capable and ready to go out to patrol.
I would say definitely the last 6 months, all the hours of training that we've gone through in firearms, defensive tactics have really prepared me for the next step of phase training, and I feel confident going out there.
Having my sister here with me was very special. This is her first academy, first anything like this. I'm her little brother, but watching her, I was very proud of her. I'm still very proud of her, and I can't wait to see her on graduation day.
I feel like moving out of the military as a family and into law enforcement is just another big family. I love the camaraderie. Everyone works really well together to succeed, and we continue to push each other.
Being at the academy with a whole bunch of different departments, we're an entire family regardless of what department we're in. And I really do consider them my brother and sisters.
Academy, dismiss!